Breaking Down the Law is sponsored by Battle-Born Injury Lawyers.
Okay, we are breaking down the law. We do it every Wednesday with Matthew Hoffmann. We are so pleased to have you. You really help us kind of process this and break down kind of what happened in this situation, which is breaking as we speak, right? Yeah. So let's talk, we talked a little bit about the background and what happened in the case. So what do you think ultimately led to them saying, okay, we're going to drop these manslaughter charges?
So the reason for the manslaughter charges come down to the definition of what is a person.
Yeah.
In Alabama, you had this anti-abortion legislation recently.
Right.
So under that, a fetus is considered a person.
Right.
Well, what that does is it opens the door then to any pregnant mother, if they do anything that endangers their child that's a fetus, they could arguably be charged with a crime. Theoretically, you could charge for child neglect because you smoke, because they're a person now.
Right.
They're not just a fetus. You could charge them for drinking alcohol, using drugs. You know, currently there isn't an avenue to do that.
So that was the mindset behind the initial charge of the manslaughter charge.
Right. So, I mean, okay, number one, she's the assailant. So she's attacking this other woman.
Got it.
The woman then acts in self-defense, pulls out a gun, doesn't shoot at her.
Right.
Does a warning shot. Warning shot ricochets, hits her in the stomach.
Right.
Very unfortunate, obviously. So the grand jury said that's self-defense, and I think it is self-defense. Under Nevada law, Alabama law, it doesn't matter. That's self-defense. But what they said is, look, our manslaughter law says if you recklessly, act recklessly and it results in the death of a person, now a fetus is a person, then you can be charged with manslaughter. So they brought the charges. I mean, I think what they saw was the slippery slope this creates. And how many cases, how far do we go now in prosecuting mothers for the actions they take that could, affect the fetuses that are within them?
Got it. So, I mean, it's really something they had to process and rethink, because where do we go from here?
Yeah, so.
And this has happened in Nevada, too.
Exactly.
So it's not just, something that happened in Alabama.
Yeah, so under the child neglect laws, we talked about this a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
The Parkland shooting. Right. So under the child neglect laws, you can't endanger or neglect or, obviously attack a child. And in Nevada in 1994, the prosecutors tried to bring charges against a woman who, it was a pretty clever argument. She gave birth, so the baby is outside of the womb, but still connected by the umbilical cord. And at that time, she was passing methamphetamines to the baby. So they said, no, it's a child at this point, so now it's child neglect. And what the Supreme Court ultimately said was, look, this is not what this law intended. And if we allow this, it creates a slippery slope.
Got it.
How far do we go? We'd be literally violating Nevada law with the kind of charges that could come from it. And I think that's what happened here.
So we've seen this before, even in our state, which is kind of interesting. I know when I was hearing it, at Alabama, I was like, wow, I've never heard of anything like this before. But of course, Matthew Hoffmann, having the background that he has, and he knows how to dig and research into these things, he clearly just laid out the case that this happened before here in Nevada. So it's just kind of interesting to see, how these laws ultimately, well, obviously, yes, it's a tragic situation all in all. But, just something we wanted to kind of bring to you, because it's something we've been talking about. A lot of you have been discussing and weighing in on our Facebook page. So we always love to have these discussions with Matthew Hoffmann every Wednesday, breaking down the law. We have a new topic, obviously, with laws that impact you and how we can give you a little more information about it.